Hi guys, welcome back. I'm taking a ripped piece of paper here and I'm just kind of going around the bird here and there, filling in some feathers. And as you know, this is a watercolor canvas board and it's very smooth, and I thought it would work for airbrush, but it's not the greatest because you can't really erase on this board. You can only use like the fiber pencils to erase out little marks, and a X-Acto knife. At least that's the only two things I found that work on this. So I am using a brush and airbrush with this because of the material that I'm working on. I'm using my favorite airbrush, the Creos 771. I haven't tried the Infinity yet. I don't have one. And I'm happy with this airbrush, so sometimes I feel like, why try another one? When I have so many. I do have a lot of the Creos, and I have Awadas, so I don't need any more arsenals. Unless somebody wants me to, try out one or give a review on one. I think I'm fine with what I have. I always like to learn new things, though. A guy made a comment on one of my videos that the white I was using, it's a lot of tip dry on it, and he recommended E-Tac paint. And I haven't tried E-Tac paint, never heard of it before. But from what I understand, it sprays like urethanes. And if you've ever sprayed urethanes, that is a automotive paint, and you have to have a reducer with it. They spray really smooth, and man, that would be awesome to get a paint that sprays like a urethane. So I'd love to try it, but I have so many paints now, and I just got a set of inks, Holbein inks to use. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to, put money in it, but we'll see what happens. Someone wants to send me some to try out, I'd be glad to take it. But I do, and I it's in the site that I went to order some of that E-Tac paint. May only take it in Australia, so I don't know where you could get it in the U.S. unless one of the art supplies places have it. I haven't really checked into it yet, but they say it's really good. I don't know. Here I'm using a right piece of paper to go around the bottom of that bird where that is a buildup of snow on that branch, and I do have a dark color there too. You do have to have a dark color underneath for the white to show up on snow. So I'm kind of doing it a little backwards, like you would if it was just an acrylic with brush on the snow, because I wanted to get that certain look. And I'm kind of just doing the birds with the airbrush, and then I'm coming back in with a regular brush and putting in some detail. Now with the highlights on this, the really bright highlights, you're going to have to use an opaque paint and a brush to get those sharp highlights, because it's not like you can erase on this watercolor canvas board like you can if it was another material. Again, I'll probably never use these again unless I do a watercolor class with some people. I think I got a set of like 6, and after using this board, I realized I probably won't use it again for airbrush. It just doesn't work right. But I do have to use them up, so I have a class of girls that learning to paint with the brush, so I might just give them a little lesson in watercolor and use them up that way. And this red is it is a well, let me look and see. It is the Pyrrole red, and then I'm coming in with the Maple red, and then I'll be using some orange in this bird. And once I get it sprayed here, it's just going to look so totally red that it's not going to look realistic. And this in this tutorial, I really wanted to do a realistic look, but with the board that I'm working on, I think we're just going to try for a semi-realistic look, because I just can't do the detail work with the erasers and things the way you can on other material, like on regular canvas or airbrush paper. Drew Blair, makes an airbrush paper that is just excellent, and you can order it off his site, School of Realism. And also Yupo paper is pretty good too for airbrushing, and you can get that about anywhere. And you just need a synthetic paper. And if you want to, there's different brands out there. If you wanted to look for that, you could just type in synthetic airbrush paper, and a lot of different things will pop up. Of course, I don't like, usually they only have the small size, and I like to work a little bit bigger than just the small size. And of course, synthetic paper can get very, very expensive. So, I'll use the Yupo paper quite sometimes if I'm doing something for like a portrait for somebody that's small, but that can be framed. But I usually don't work on the paper unless, those things. And when you're doing a canvas piece for someone, you always want to gesso it at least 2 or 3 times to get that smooth surface. And to me, it's a lot of work. So I try to find things I can work on that you don't have to do that too. And my favorite so far is just aluminum panels. And then again, you can get the boards, like the canvas boards that are just plain wood that you can gesso. I have ordered them that has already been pre-gessoed, but I don't like the texture that's on them. So I like to order them just plain, and then I just gesso them myself. And I usually put 2 to 3 coats on and sand it. And that gives you a smooth surface too. So those are my 2 choices. And a lot of people have asked me, well, the aluminum panels you can't get in a frame, can you? And yes, you can get in a frame, because an aluminum panel, if you clear it with automotive clear, or you have a really good spray system that you could spray clear over it yourself, it will fit in frames. You just take out the glass, and then, because if it's an automotive clear over top, you don't need the glass in there. So you just take the glass out, pop the panel in there, and you're good to go. So that's my favorite choice. But of course, canvas, people like the canvas, but and here I am using that ripped piece of paper again, coming around here and there, and I'm filling in the background color of the bird first. This would be like the undercoat, and I'm spraying in some yellows because the female is more, I think it's the female, is more of a yellow beige color than the male. You know, I always thought it should have been the other way around. The female should have been the red one, and the other one should have been the male, but And I got a little bit of that yellow over in the blue, but once the beige color comes in there, that will color, that will take that out, and it will be fine. And then I'll use my fiber pencil to go in there and take out some things I don't like. And then if I can't get it out with that, I'll just use the brush with white paint. And sometimes in this, when you're using a brush, this is a watercolor board, so you have to remember that your airbrush paint's very thin, so it will spread out. So what I do is take a little bit of regular art craft acrylic paint, like Liquitex or Holbein, and mix in with the airbrush paint. It's a medium. It's not thick and it's not thin. It's not going to spread out when you put it on the board. So that's what I did to compensate for this mistake I made of buying the wrong panel. But you live and learn. My autofocus is going nuts right now. Okay. And on this, I will be giving you the end piece of what it looks like when I finished it, because it's just too much in this picture to put on so many videos, and I don't have my page set up or my channel set up right now to do like the step by step. So once I get so many subscribers on this, I can do that, where I can give you memberships and you can get everything to where you can do the whole art piece with me, and I'll be a little bit more professional. I'm not so professional right now, but the guy that left me the tip on the E-Tech paint said that the opaque is, it's so good that, you know, where you get that blue hue when you have to fix a mistake or something and you spray over it, you get that kind of bluish look. It's called something, I can't remember what it's called. But basically you can use that and it doesn't give the that look. So you can cover your mistake and fix it very easy. Now Holbein ink has one that's called super opaque white, and it is excellent for that, because when I use the ink in a picture that I did, I made a mistake and I thought, okay, it's a great time to try this out. So I used the super opaque Holbein ink, and oh my goodness, I didn't get a blue hue at all. I was very impressed, very impressed. So if the E-Tech does the same, that would be awesome. Because I even find with the inks, it sprays really smooth, but, you know, it's going to clog up and have little paint things just like Cretex Illustration does, and you have to strain it. So, man, it'd be nice to get something like that would spray like a urethane that wouldn't get the little paint specks and stuff after you let them set for a while. That'd be great. So I may have to try this paint out, even though I have an arsenal of paint and inks. Oh well, we love what we do, so we put our money in it, right? I probably put more money in it than what I get out of it. And here I'm just using a very fine liner brush, and I'm going in and getting some really deep dark red, and this red is mixed with acrylic regular Liquitex paints, a mixture that's not going to spread out completely on this board when I put it on. So it does soak into the board, but it's not going to spread on me. So I kind of mix the Cretex paint with the regular Liquitex paint, and I get the look or the mixture that I want. So yeah, kind of a crazy mixture here of different ways of doing this, but it worked out in the end, and it looks really nice. It looks really close to the picture, so that's what we're trying for. And it's okay to use a brush too with airbrush. Not everything has to be totally all done with airbrush. You just have to, if depending on the surface that you're working on, you just have to be careful when you use a brush with airbrush, because it will wipe away the airbrush paint that you've already laid on there. But here on this board, you don't have to worry about that, because this is a watercolor board. So it's not going to take away that airbrush paint. It's going to add to it. I guess that could be a plus in some ways. Sorry about the sound of all the cars going by. I'm kind of in my storefront here and on a highway. Man, we got snow yesterday, and it was so cold. My knees wouldn't bend. This is going to be the last video on this one, and then I'll show you the final piece on the end of this, because there's just so much to do in this that it would have been really long. So you guys get the gist of what I'm doing from watching me with the brush and the airbrush. So if you go by the picture, you can figure it out, I'm sure, and do it yourself. Now this isn't all black that I'm using here. This is like blue. Oh, hello. Thanks for watching, guys. Come back.